चतुर्भुजं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथां नितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखामृतांश्च नमाओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी शातदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So we have completed successfully 3 chapters of 4th canto, and 4 more chapters are remaining. 4 days are remaining. So with your cooperation, we can complete in 4 days 4 chapters, hopefully. So till now we saw the genealogical table of Swayambhu Manu, first chapter. Then second chapter was the Lord Daksha curses Lord Shiva, and third chapter was conversation between Lord Shiva and Sati, and now the fourth chapter is Sati quits her body. So this has 34 verses. So we'll begin with the so we'll recite together verse and translation, and then each devotee can read one verse, and purport few lines we may take, or we may skip purport also. So first verse together we'll recite. Maitreya uvacha एतावदुक्त्वा विरराम शङ्कर पत्नी अङ्गनाशं हि उभयत्र चिन्तयन् सुरुद्रदिक्षु परिशङ्किता भवान् निष्क्रामति निर्विशति द्विधाससा. Yes, translation.
The sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva was silent after speaking to Sati, seeing her between decisions. Sati was very much anxious to see her relatives at her father's house, but at the same time, she was afraid of Lord Shiva's warning. Her mind unsettled, she moved in and out of the room as a swing moves this way and that.
Purport also you can read this. Yeah.
Purport: Sati's mind was divided about whether to go to her father's house or obey the orders of Lord Shiva. The struggle between the two decisions was so strong that she was pushed from one side of the room to another, and she began to move just like the pendulum of a clock.
Hari bol. Pendulum in the previous days, those clock will be there. Pendulum. So like that, Sati was going back and forth, confused whether to go to father's house or whether to stay back and follow advice of Lord Shiva or go to meet father. So she was in confusion, dilemma. So she was going back and forth, and here in translation it is she was moving in and out of the room. So my question to you is, where was the room? Where was the room for the room? What word comes there for the room? Any Sanskrit word is there? Nishkramati, moving out. Nirvishate is moving in and out. Huh? She was moving out and moving in, but there is no house. So you just imagine. So, so now, uh, this sati is compared to the actually restlessness of a mind. Hmm. Mind, how mind is so restless of a conditioned living entity. Like that, sati is restless. Hmm. She is in tug of war. So Chaitanya was saying that this mind generally, mind first cheats us, then tortures us. Hmm. So just like he was giving example of eating, when we eat, so mind first says, take more, take, no problem. This nice, you take. And then when you take it, you are so full, then mind says, you rascal, why you took it so much? You should not have taken so much. And then mind tortures. So first mind will cheat us and then tortures us. So in this case also we see Sati's example. She was angry on Lord Shiva here. She was looking at Lord Shiva like she will burn him to ashes. And she wanted to go because he was not allowing. And then when she went there, she was angry on Daksha. And she was glorifying Lord Shiva there. So that is how mind works. First cheats and then tortures. And then ultimately she commits their suicide. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes here, Lord Shiva understood that she would destroy herself either if he forcibly prevented her from going, or if she went and received insult, there also she will destroy herself. Either case, she is going to die. That Lord Shiva knew that. So that's why he thought, I will give advice and be detached. Like that. So this is a tug of war we see in our lives also. Mind also sometimes is tore between two decisions. So one is material attachment and one is spiritual attachment. The material attachment for Sati is the father's place, father and all relatives. I want to go and meet them. And spiritual attachment because Lord Shiva is considered a guru, Jagat Guru. So she wants to follow. But then the attachment for the relatives is more stronger. So that's why she goes. So we see such case in many of the such characters. In Mahabharata, we see in whose case? Tug of war. We have session in device, one tug of war. Karna. Karna's tug of war. Karna was torn between two parties. One is loyalty to Duryodhan or Krishna's party. So like that tug of war was there. But ultimately his attachment to Duryodhan was more. So he stayed back instead of attachment to Krishna. So Karna actually was a good person, but because of bad association, we give example that how. So again, Chaitanya was telling that Karna's logic is like this. Suppose a poor boy in a hut in Jhopdi he is living and he has hardly any money for eating food or going to school or for anything. He has no money. So that time, some person he comes and he helps him, and he gives him money, he gives him food, he gives him education, और छोटा से बड़ा किया उसको, for the boy who is in the slum. So this person who did this, so he will be very grateful, the boy, because he has done so much for me. But later this boy comes to know that he is from Taliban. He is from organization of terrorist organization. And then when he grows up, this man tells to this boy that you should be loyal to me. I have helped you so much. So you please join our organization. So what the boy should do? Really tug of war for him. So like that, Karna's position was like that. You know. So he should have chosen the right path, but he chose to be loyal to Duryodhan. It's like loyal to terrorist. That is not a very good idea. So rather than Karna's loyalty, Bali Maharaj's loyalty is more glorified by the Acharyas. Right. So Bali Maharaj, if we see, he was given a new birth by Shukracharya. Hmm. But for Karna, Duryodhan didn't give him new birth. He just gave him some land because he was not the king. So he was made a king by Duryodhan. So his loyalty, okay, he has done so much, Duryodhan, but how much Shukracharya had done for Bali Maharaj? He had revived him from death. Mm. But still Bali Maharaj, when it question was Lord Vishnu or not, Shukracharya, spiritual master. So he chose Lord Vishnu. So Bali Maharaj sacrifice, or Bali Maharaj being he is choosing, or Bali Maharaj is more glorified than Karna. So Karna is saw that Duryodhan has done so much, namak khaya hai, namak ही खाया ना, दूसरा life तो नहीं दिया. Still he was loyal, not loyal to Krishna. So that's why Rupa Goswami actually says, Karna is not the real Danvir, Bali Maharaj is the real Danvir, he says, Rupa Goswami. Generally, when we go for book distribution, people will ask, do you have Mrutyunjay? Hmm? Mrutyunjay hai ka Mrutyunjay? Karna is the hero. So they don't know much. They know only his hero, Danvir. Hmm. But actually, Bali Maharaj is considered more as Danvir by Rupa Goswami. So this was a tug of war for Sati. She is going out and in. The next verse, second. Surudridiksha pratighat durmana sneha dudatti shrukalati vivala bhavam bhavani apratipurusham rusha pradakshati vai jatave patu.
Sati felt sorry at being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house, and due to affection for them, tears fell from her eyes. Shaking and very much afflicted, she looked at her uncommon husband, Lord Shiva, as if she were going to blast him with her vision.
She was looking so angrily. Hmm. Later, after some time, she shows same anger for Daksha. So, as we had discussed about anger, anger is one short letter of danger. Similarly, Daksha also committed mistake in anger. Now, Sati is also going to commit some mistake in anger. So, one should not take decision in anger. So, when Sikshashtam was telling, one husband wife came to him for resolving the fights. They were having bitter fights, quarrel, almost like they were about to divorce. So they had come to Shikshastakam Prabhu. So he heard both parties and what they were saying. And he said that I just told him one statement, and that statement had saved them from getting divorced. Mm. So this is applicable to anybody who is having tussle, fights, quarrels. You want to know the statement? So, so statement he says that don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. That's what he just told. Simple statement. Don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. The feelings are temporary. Sometimes you become angry, sometimes you become this, that. So, but based on that, don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So he said that saved their marriage. That couple. So when such feelings arise, anger or like that, one should not take permanent decisions based on there, because that is temporary. We hear also of that Gandhiji's story. Gandhiji and his wife, what is it? Kasturba, had fight, quarrel. So then she went out. He said that get out, go go out of the house. She goes, but she doesn't go out. She stays there only outside. Then later he calls back. And who was that scientist who was discussing and his wife pours? Socrates. Socrates was having discussion and his wife was very angry on Socrates because Socrates doesn't do what she tells. So he and his one other philosopher friend had come, philosopher. Both were discussing and the wife was shouting in the background, giving background music, and they were trying to discuss. And then after some time she saw that he is not disturbed. So she brought a full bucket of water and poured on him. Hopefully not on his friend, only on him. So then Socrates just coolly said, what he said? It was thundering sometime before, now it is raining. So what she must have thought now? What to do? Just like Audi and Tukaram Maharaj. Something similar like Lord Shiva and Parvati. Okay, next verse, third. ततो विनिस्व्यास्य सात्यायतं शोकेन रोषेण च दुयात हृदा पित्रोरगातस्रैर्न विमूढाधिर्घ्रान् प्रेम्णा मनोयोर्धमदात् सतां प्रिया. Yes. Who has the mic? Mic.
Thereafter, Sati left her husband, Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body due to affection. Breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement, she went to the house of her father. This
Mm.
less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman.
Yeah, so she left anyway. Mm. Her attachment to father was more stronger. So she left Lord Shiva, and you said that Jiva Goswami says that her intelligence was bewildered by the Lord's Maya potency, and that's why she left. So I was just thinking that exactly which Maya, because she is Maya herself. So which of the Lord's Maya, whether it was Yog Maya acting on Mahamaya or Miss, I am just asking anybody of you know the answer, that which Maya of Lord's was acting on her. Anyone has any clue? No, because Jiva Goswami writes that her intelligence was bewildered by the Lord's Maya, and here also, here of course he's saying because of weak woman. This intelligence act, this less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman. Anybody's answer? Which Maya was acting on her? Because there are two Maya only, na? One is Mahamaya and one is Yog Maya. So she is Mahamaya herself. So either she is under Yog Maya, means, or there is another Maya.
Yog Maya.
Huh?
Yog Maya, because she is a pure devotee of Lord.
Acha. So this is under the Yog Maya.
Yes.
Haribol, thank you. Gaurlila bro. Under Yog Maya. Acha. Fine. But Prabhupada says here. There are two. So from our perspective, I'm asking, which Maya was the under? Yog Maya or Mahamaya? Gaurlila bro is saying Mahamaya. Yog Maya. Mahamaya was under Yog Maya. It's the first time in history like that, something. Anyway, so Shnachakra Thakur writes, yeah. And who is Lord Shiva? He had given half his body to her. What was the reason for giving him up? Her intelligence was deluded by her womanly nature. That's what Vishnu Chakra Thakur writes. Prabhupada also repeats same thing. That's why Lord Shiva is also called Ardhanarishwar. So he has given half the body to Sati, and that's why he's called Ardhanarishwar. But we, from the perspective of what Prabhupada is writing, because of the weak nature, as a womanly nature, from that perspective we can discuss. Then we can learn some lessons. If we discuss is from Yoga Maya or everything is pastime, then we cannot learn any lesson. Hmm. So Bhagavatam, of course, everything is under Yoga Maya, all are pure devotees. All like that, that may be truth. But for our learning, we have to see from our this worldly viewpoint. So here Prabhupada, as he is writing, because of her womanly nature, because of her weak intelligence, she left Lord Shiva and went to Daksha. So as we had discussed that how women generally they are more emotional and less rational, and men are more rational and less emotional. So there is advantage and disadvantage both. Hmm. So woman being more emotional, what is the advantage? Support, huh? Softness. Or that's why they can have sentiments for Krishna or the Lord, hmm, more. And that's why Prabhupada would also say, na, more women come for the satsang. Hmm. Sometimes we start satsang with more men and less women. At the end, more women and no men. It happens like that. So women, because they are emotional, so advantage is they can have a soft heart, and then they have sentiments for the Lord. Hmm. They feel for the Lord. ऐसा करना चाहिए, and they will feel even the jewelry, and they decorate, and they have so much emotions for the Lord. Hmm. But then the men, चलो जल्दी जल्दी do like this, somehow you decorate the Lord, सिर्फ decoration dressing हो गया, चलो time नहीं इतना, बाकी बाकी चीजें करनी है. So like that the men, because they have less emotional, they are more rational. But then the disadvantage for women is, because of that they cannot think clearly what is right, what is wrong. Hmm. Because of less rationality, they don't know what is exactly right and what is wrong, so they can be cheated also. So that is the disadvantage. So in both cases there is advantage, disadvantage. So not that woman is less than men, because both has advantage and disadvantage, women and men body, that is made like that. Yeah. Fourth verse will go. ताम अन्वगच्छन् द्रुतविक्रमां सतीम् एकां त्रिनेत्रानुचर सहस्रशा सपार्षदः यक्षमणिमन्मदादय पुरो वृषेन्द्रास्तरसा गतः व्यथः.
When they saw Sati living alone very rapidly, thousands of Lord Shiva's disciples, headed by Maniman and Mother, quickly followed her with his bull Nandi in front and accompanied by the Yakshas.
So here the other assistants of servants of Lord Shiva, they understood that Sati is going alone, and they understood the mind of Lord Shiva, that he would want us to go. Something might happen there. So that's why they, understanding the mind of the master, the Yakshas, and then Maniman, Mada, and others, Nandi, and others, they followed Sati. So how the Prabhupada explains what is the first class disciple, second class, third class, fourth class. So first class is one who understands the mind of the superior or spiritual master, and he does that. Second class is one who after telling, then he executes the order. And third class is even after telling, he will not execute. And what is fourth class? Hmm? No, he will instruct spiritual master only. And that is example of Ramchandra Puri. Is the fourth class. He tells spiritual master only what to do and what not to do. That is fourth class. So first class one understands the mind of the superior or spiritual master. So here the yakshas and other ghosts, they could understand the mind of Lord Shiva, and they go with Sati. So Harishwari Prabhu tells one pastime of Prabhupada. Then when he was serving as the personal servant of Srila Prabhupada, So once, means when he was appointed newly as servant, so that time Prabhupada had instructed him that your job is to never leave me. Always be with me. Your servant means you should always be with me. Never leave me. So he says, yes, Prabhupada, like that. So he is ready. So once when Prabhupada is on, I think in Juhu, so on the terrace, he is in the afternoon, he is taking rest. There was one room, so he was taking rest there. And generally, after taking rest, afternoon nap, he would take 1 hour or 2 hour nap. He would take in the afternoon, and then after when he would get up, he would generally drink water. He would have lota, and then he would drink one full lota of water. So when Prabhupada was sleeping, Harishori Prabhu came there and he saw Prabhupada is sleeping. He saw that, but that lota is empty. Water is not there. So now he was thinking whether I should go below and bring water. If I go, means then I disobey the first instruction which he had given, that never leave me alone. Prabhupada said, never leave me alone. So I cannot go and leave him. If he wakes up and sees that I am not there, then what, he will become angry. But there is no water in the lota. Now if Prabhupada gets up, he will require water. Then it will take time for me to go and bring water. So what you would have done in that case? If anybody of you will be there. Whether you, हाँ? But वो call करने के लिए भी जाना पड़ेगा. They are on terrace. Prabhupada is sleeping and Prabhupada wakes up that time only. कहाँ गया? Or if he waits and then Prabhupada gets up and then he will ask water, then it will take time for him. Prabhupada has to read, na? Who will tell Prabhupada? Please read this sheet. What are different answers we will see. If you are Prabhupada, just imagine you are Prabhupada's servant, personal servant. You got the opportunity. And when Prabhupada would get angry, then anybody online? Somebody wants to. You have not read this book of Harishori Prabhu. Okay. What he did was, he waited there only. And when after some time Prabhupada got up, and then Prabhupada saw he is sitting and there is no water. He said, where is the water? Get water. So he took the lota, went running, brought water, and then he gave to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, you know that whenever I get up, I require water. So why didn't you fill the lota and kept? You didn't think like that. So he said, Prabhupada, you only instructed me that I should never leave you. I should be always with you. That's why I didn't go. Prabhupada did just like this. What does it mean? You should have brought water. Use common sense. All glories to Harishwar Prabhu, but he writes like that. That instruction doesn't mean like literally you have to be behind Prabhupada whenever he is there. Use intelligence, go and bring water. The water is required. Prabhupada didn't say like that, just Prabhupada said like that. This is not a good reason. Anyway, they're all great soul. What we would have done, we don't know. But a first class disciple, there is another, Daisma, you might have read about Tamal Krishna Maharaj. When they were in Juhu, then Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Prabhupada, they were having conversation. That time Prabhupada's son comes to meet Vrindavan Day. And that time he comes inside and he talks with Prabhupada and he says to Prabhupada that, what he calls his father, I don't know, Prabhupada only, that we require money, we are in need of money, we want money. So like that he requests Prabhupada that money is required for a home, family, mother is asking, or we require some money. So that time Prabhupada is talking with Tamal Krishna and then they are there. And then Prabhupada turns to Tamal Krishna and asks, how much money we have in bank account? So Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, he sees the passbook and Prabhupada, we have very less money currently. Currently we cannot give, we are in need of money ourselves. There is very less money in the account. So Prabhupada says, see, sorry, right now we don't have money. Maybe in later future, but right now we don't have money. So then he goes, Vrindavan day, goes back. And now, what was the actual case? Tamal Krishna Maharaj, when he saw the huge amount of money in the, if we would be there, what will say? Prabhupada, there is a lot of money. How much should we give? We have 50 lakhs in our account. Kitna dena hai? Now Prabhupada is also in fix na in that time. Tamal Krishna Maharaj could understand mind of Prabhupada. He doesn't want to give him money, like that. Just because his son. So Prabhupada didn't want, but how Prabhupada will say to him directly. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj understood mind of Prabhupada. He said there is no money, hardly any money, but there was a lot of money. And Prabhupada was happy with what Tamal Krishna Maharaj did. That is first class disciple. So, but Prabhupada would say, if you cannot be first class, at least be second class. Whatever is told, we should do at least. Anyway, so these yakshas and rakshasas and these ghosts, they followed Sati. Fifth, तांसारिका दन्दुकदर्पणाम्बुजा श्वेतातपत्रव्यजनस्रगादिभिः गीतायनैर्दुन्दुभिशङ्कवेणुभिर्वृषेन्द्रम् आरोप्य विटङ्किताययु. Yes.
The disciples of Lord Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on the back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. They bore a lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia for her enjoyment, and covered her with a great canopy. Followed by a singing party with drums, consoles, and bugles, the entire procession was as pompous as a royal parade.
So they all went in a nice royal parade procession with all baja and whatever instrument, drums, conch shells, bugles. It was like a festival. They were going in a nice procession from Kailash to Daksha's place with all the whole party, like a marriage party. They were all celebrating and going. But hardly they know that this celebration is going to turn into a tragedy soon. So Radhesham Prabhu tells this, that this is the nature of material world. There will be festival, celebration, and suddenly there is some death or tragedy suddenly. And he makes the sound also. You heard that? Like, and then suddenly, somebody is crying. After that, in movies they have a celebration nicely, and the next scene is somebody crying loudly. So they suddenly tragedy strikes. So material nature is very cruel. It doesn't see time. The celebration is going on. Thoda rukna chahiye. Baad mein we'll have tragedy afterwards. There should be some gap. The tragedy will strike anytime in the middle of the celebration also. Is it not? So which was the case in 10th canto? Like that happens with somebody. Devaki and Vasudeva. There's a marriage day and there is celebration and the procession is going on nicely. And just one announcement of 5 seconds. The announcement was made. And that made such a great tragedy. And Devaki was about to lose her life. And then later they had to go in the jail and suffer so much. Gajendra, yeah. Gajendra is having nice procession. They were also having nice procession. Going in the forest and breaking the trees and nicely taking bath. And suddenly crocodile catches. So festival celebration can turn into tragedy anytime. That is the nature of the material world. So material nature is very cruel. Somebody, from somewhere I had heard somebody would was telling that once one family members, some family, joint family, they all of them went for a picnic to one spot, some place, some temple they had gone, and they were having nice picnic. Everybody was very happy. After a long time, they had come together. They were having nice time playing. Children were playing and all that. And afterwards, they were about to take lunch there near the temple, and suddenly they heard the sound of shouting. Somebody shouting, "Help! Help!" So they saw. They went. So the one person amongst them, he had gone for taking bath there near the lake, and suddenly he was stuck in the quicksand. Yeah, quicksand is there. He was stuck in the quicksand. So then the others went to help. How to help? Now he is in the like gone in the quicksand. If they go, they will also get stuck. So they were trying to throw something, so that he can catch. Sadi, sadi, na? The lady threw sadi. So she was trying to pull sadi with like that, but nothing could help. So he was going down, and ultimately, in front of everybody, he drowned there in the quicksand. He died. So that lady was telling, no, this her husband. Everyone was telling, ah. So then she was saying that she couldn't, sleep properly for so many years. Always she was thinking of that scene, like husband went in front of her eyes in the quicksand. It's a dangerous thing to see, and that remember she was so much disturbed by that. So it was a nice picnic, nice celebration, but it turned into a tragedy, sudden tragedy. That is how material nature is. A procession and a festival can turn into a tragedy. We see that here also. Next verse, sixth. ब्रह्मघोषार्जितयज्ञवैशसं विप्रार्षिजुष्टं विबुधैश्च सर्वशः मृद्धार्वय कञ्चनगर्भचर्मभिः निःसृष्टबान्धं यजनं समाविशत्.
She then reached her father's house, where the sacrifice was being performed, and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. The great sages, Brahmanas, and demigods were all assembled there, and there were many sacrificial animals, as well as pots made of clay, stone, gold, grass, and skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice.
Next. ताम आगतां तत्र न कश्चन द्रियात् विमानितां यज्ञकृतो भयाज्जना ऋते स्वस्विर्वै जननीं च सादरा प्रेमाश्रुकण्ठ्या परिशव्रचुर्मुदा.
When Sati with her followers reached the arena, because all the people
Mic is not working. Yeah. 8 next. सौन्दर्यसम्प्रश्नसमर्थवर्तया मात्रा च मात्रे स्वश्रीभिश्च सादरं दत्तां सपर्यां वरमासनं च सा नादत्तपित्रा प्रतिनन्दिता सती. So now all the other ladies and everybody else welcomed her, but who didn't welcome? Only father didn't welcome. Sisters, mother, and all others welcomed her there. They gave her nice seat and they welcomed her with sweet words. But she didn't care about that. She saw that Daksha is not welcoming. My father is not welcoming. Mm. So I was thinking it is like similar case to whom? Of Daksha himself. When Daksha entered, everybody stood up. Only Brahma and Lord Shiva didn't stand. So he was saying why he is not standing. But so many people are standing that he was not seeing. So now here Sati also, everybody is welcoming. Daksha is not welcoming. She should have been satisfied. But she was feeling, "Arey, why he didn't welcome?" So she was feeling so much angry that he is not welcoming. So uh, so same like Daksha. So my generally that is the nature of mind. Mind focuses on what I don't have. What I have, that mind will not focus. But what I don't have, that that mind focuses. So and Gaur Gopal was telling this. that when we get up in the morning, early in the morning, we should thank God for the two gifts He has given to us. So, what are the two gifts He has given? When we wake up, so that time we should thank Lord for the two gifts He has given, and that are the two eyes we have, and we are able to see when we get up and we are able to see the world around us. So there are many people in the world who don't have eyes. They are blind. So when they sleep and get up, they are not able to see the world around us, world around them. So when we get up and see the world, we should be thankful. Arey, hey, mere aanखें hai, mere हाथ पैर अच्छे हैं. Mind is also okay, working nicely. So many people are mentally retarded. So many people don't have one hand, one leg. Sometimes on the other station or like that, you have seen somebody without any legs, without any hands. You seen like that? How many have you seen? That's, oh, it's so horrible to look at, na? No legs, no hands. Only is there on the railway station or the other station like that. So we should be grateful that we have so many things Lord has given. We can be grateful. But generally the nature of mind is will focus on what I don't have. He has, I don't have. And that makes our life miserable. Hmm? That is what that 99 club. That 99 club. In that story, you know, of Akbar Birbal. So like that, Sati was focusing, अरे दक्षा ने क्यों नहीं, why didn't Daksha welcome? If she would have come, they welcomed, थोड़ा participate होके, she would have gone back, things would have settled. But she actually increased the problem, Sati, if we see, by going there and by committing suicide, the already problem which was like little settled, she stirred it all the more. We can see, of course, Sati, and that we see her as in Yoga Maya, but what we see here in this perspective, actually she increased, she removed the clot, as we say, na, on the wound. वो क्लॉट बन गया था थोड़ा सा, उसको फिर से निकाल दिए. खपली, खपली निगुन गेली. खपली निगुन गेली. So like that again blood started. Ninth. अरुद्रभागं तमवेक्ष चाध्वरं पित्रा च देवे कृतहेलनं विभौ अनादृता यज्ञसदस्यधीश्वरी चुकोपलोकान् इव दक्षयति रुषा.
Present in the arena of sacrifice, Sati saw that there were no oblation for her husband, Lord Shiva. Next, she realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when he saw Lord Shiva's exalted wife, Daksha did not receive her either. Thus, she became greatly angry, so much so that she looked at her father as if she were going to burn him with her eyes.
Hari Bol. Few verses back, who was she ready to burn? Lord Shiva. Now Lord Shiva is insulted, she is ready to burn Daksha. So actually I was just thinking, she knew. Lord Shiva already said that Daksha doesn't like me and there is some tension between us. So she already knows that. So how she became angry seeing that Daksha has not kept any share, or Daksha not receiving her. She must have expected already. But because of, as we see here, the weak nature of woman, so she became angry there and she was ready to burn Daksha down. Okay, 10th verse. जगर्हसां सामर्षविपन्नया गिरा शिवः द्विषं धूमपथाश्रमस्मयं स्वतेजसा भूतगणान् समुत्थितान् निघ्रय्य देवी जगतो वृष्णवता. 10th.
The followers of Lord Shiva, the ghost, were ready to injure or kill Daksha, but Sati stopped them by her order. She was very angry and sorrowful, and in that mood, she began to condemn the process of sacrificial fruitive activities and persons who are very proud of such unnecessary and troublesome sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all.
Hmm. So, 10th. Okay, we'll read next also. She criticized her father. Next, 11th. देवी उवाच न यस्य लोकेऽस्यतिशाय न प्रियस् तथा प्रियो देहभृतां प्रियात्मनः तस्मिन् समस्तात्मनि मुक्तवैरके ऋते भवन्तं कथमः प्रतीपयेत्.
The blessed goddess said, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. He has no rival. No one is very dear to him, and no one is his enemy. No one but you could be envious of such a universal being who is free from all enmity.
Next. दोषान् परेषां हि गुणेषु साधवो गृह्णन्ति केचिन्न भवादृशो द्विजा गुणांश फल्गुन् बहुलीकरिष्णवो महत्तमास्तेषु अविदात् भवान् अघम्.
Twice born Daksha, a man like you can simply find fault in the qualities of others. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no faults with others' qualities, but if someone has a little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Unfortunately, you have found fault with such a great soul.
So for this, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives big purport. So here, Sati is telling there are. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells that there are various types of Mahatmas and there are various types of opposite asadhu. A sadhu and asadhu. Various levels of sadhu and various levels of asadhu. So he explains, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that there is first who is called Mahat or Sadhu. So he takes the term as Mahat. So Mahat is a person who sees faults and good qualities and he thinks that fault will eventually be transformed into good qualities. So he actually, like 4 levels are there in this, in both, in Mahat and in Asadhu. So these 4 levels he explains. That first person is one who sees good qualities in a person, sees bad qualities in a person, but he sees that these bad qualities will later turn into good quality. So he says that speaking harshly is a bad quality, but because it can be used in somebody's benefit, it becomes a good quality. So he gives like just like neem juice. Neem juice is bitter, but it can cure disease also. So like that, Mahat is a person who sees both good and bad quality in a person, but he says thinks that this bad quality will later turn into good quality, so that is not a problem. So harsh speech is there in this person, but it will turn into a good quality. Sometimes harshly speaking against a non-devotee may be also required. So that is first, Mahat. And then there is better than that. He is called Mahattara. So who is a Mahattara? He sees good qualities, bad qualities, but he overlooks the bad qualities. He overlooks them. So overlooking the faults, he focuses more on the good qualities. That is called Mahattara. So seeing a merchant, though a materialist, they conclude he takes care of guests very nicely and is worthy of deliverance. So those who Mahattara, he sees this merchant is there, he has a lot of money, he's a materialist, but at least he welcomes sadhu. Sadhu aate ghar pe to अच्छे welcome karte hain, you know? So at least he has this good quality. So he overlooks that he is materially attached. So Mahattara, he sees both, but he actually overlooks the fault, but focuses more on the good quality. So he's Mahattara. So Gauranga Simple is telling one should overlook the fault and not overlook the faults. So what we do? We don't overlook, but we overlook, means we keep looking at the faults only. That is overlook. So don't overlook, but overlook. Overlook the faults, not overlook. So this is second, Mahattara. Now third is Mahattama. Mahattama is he sees small good quality. He doesn't see bad quality, but he sees small good quality and he magnifies them. That is Mahattama. Now, the example Vishwanath Thakur is giving, that this person has stolen my cloth because he is feeling cold. But although he has a weapon in his hand, he is not attacking me. So he is very merciful. So that is thinking of a Mahattama. अरे इसने मेरा कपड़ा चुराया है, मेरा धोती पहन लिया, but he has a weapon, but he is not attacking me, at least, so he is, merciful. So like that a Mahattama sees, he sees small good quality and he magnifies, he doesn't see fault at all. And then fourth is Ati Mahattama. Ati Mahattama is there, although there are no good qualities, zero in that person, but he finds some good quality and magnifies that. So there is no good quality, but he finds some good quality and magnifies. So the example he is giving, in this world there are no bad people. Everybody is good. That is they are the very greatest. That is Ati Mahattama. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Sati is saying Lord Shiva is Ati Mahattama category. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives opposite also. So we will not go in detail. Asadhu, then Asadhutara, Asadhutama, and Ati Asadhutama. In that also 4 degrees. And she says, Daksha, you are Ati Asadhutama. You are Ati Asadhutama, and Lord Shiva is Ati Mahattama. So there is big difference between both. So that's what Sati means to say, Daksha. Like that. Okay. Next verse, 13th. Nascharyametad yadasattu sarvada mahadvininda kunapatmavadishu shersham mahapurushapadapam subhir nirastajashtajay shobhanam. 13th.
It is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body as the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic persons is very good because that is the way they fall down. They are diminished by the dust. They are diminished by the dust of the feet of great personalities.
Next, 14th. यद्वेकर्षं नाम गिरेरितं नृणां सकृत् प्रसंगाद् अघम् आशुहन्ति तत् पवित्रकीर्तिं तमलक्ष्य शासनं भवान् अहो द्वेष्टि शिवं शिवेतरः.
Sati continued, My dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name, consisting of 2 syllables, Shi and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure and no one but you envies him.
15th. यत्पादपद्मं महतां मनोलिभिर्निषेवितं ब्रह्मरसावर्तभिः लोकस्य यद्वर्षति चाशिशोऽर्थिना तस्मै भवान् दुर्यति विश्वबन्धवे.
You are envious of Lord Shiva, who is the friend of all living entities within the 3 worlds. For the common man, he fulfills all desires, and because of their engagement in thinking of his lotus feet, he also blesses higher personalities who are seeking after Brahmananda, transcendental bliss.
So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that in the 14th verse, the word Shiva, his name, 2 syllables, Shiva, just by being chanted even only once, not many times, and that also inattentively destroys all sins. If we chant Lord Shiva's name, Shiva, what happens? All the sins are destroyed. Even once, that also inattentively. So even Lord Shiva's word has, holy name has potency. And in the 15th verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, this verse describes his ability to give liberation. Brahmaras means the bliss of Brahman, which is honey. Those who desire the honey of liberation in Brahman worship Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva has ability to give even liberation also. Hmm. Sometimes we may think that Lord Shiva cannot give liberation, but Lord Shiva can give. That's what Vishnu Thakur says. And his name, if we chant, it can destroy all the sins. Even inattentively one chants, even once one chants. So that is the potency of Lord Shiva. He is not ordinary living entity. 16th. किं वा शिवाख्यं शिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये भ्रमादयस्तम् अविकर्य जातश्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म निरपल्क्यवसत् पिशाचे ये मूर्धभिर्दधाति तच्चरणावृषस्तम्. Yes.
Do you think that that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do you know this inauspicious person? Do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name of Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over his body. He is garlanded with the human skulls and smeared with ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads.
Next, 17th. That is not described here. I don't know. He said liberation. He can give liberation. So, Brahma Jyoti. One can go to Brahma Jyoti, not to. Means that is Sayujya. Sayujya Mukti can give. Like that. Or this here he just gives liberation. He told. In the Brahma Jyoti. Okay. So yeah. Like Sayujya we can say. Hmm. He can give liberation. But that is still Brahma Jyoti only. That is. Okay. Yeah. So he can give some liberation, either one of the five. He can give. That is by Lord's mercy. 17th. कर्णोऽपि धाय निरयाद्यदल्प ईशे धर्मा वितर्यर्ष्निभिर्निभिरस्य माने छिन्द्यात् प्रहर्ष्य रुशतिम् असतिं प्रभुश्चे जिह्वामासुनपि ततो वृषजेत् स धर्मा.
Sati continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and controller of the religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemous tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life.
So here, actually, Vishnu Thakur says what one should do. So it seems that everything one has to do. One blocks the air, goes away, and then one cuts out the tongue, and then kills the person, and then kills himself. It seems all mixed together. But here he says, Vishnu Thakur, that one who is a Brahmana, if he sees some offender, Vaishnava Aparad, he is doing Aparad, so then he should block the ears and leave the place. That is Brahmana. One who is Kshatriya, he should cut the tongue of that person and kill him. And if Vaishya and Shudra is there, they should give up the body. So we have to see in which category we are. If you feel Kshatriya spirit, then you can take out his tongue, cut it, and then kill him also. Both. I was thinking if you have to kill him, then why cut the tongue? Cut the tongue and then kill. Huh? No. This is Vishnu Thakur giving different. Brahmana should block the ear, leave the place. Kshatriya should cut his tongue and kill that person. Vaishya and Shudra should kill themselves. ऐसो अलग बताते कैसे. So Vaishya and Shudra, they should give up body. Kshatriya should kill that person and Brahmana should leave the place. I think Brahmana is safe. He flocks and leave the place. Huh? Brahman. So that's what Vishnu Thakur says. Okay, 18th.
Hare Krishna. One small comment.
Comment, yeah.
I was hearing one lecture of Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So he was saying that if we do the second thing,
Of
then cutting and
tongue
then tongue,
and killing the person.
so it will be like our movement will be known as tongue cutting movement. So
Yeah.
better is we do the first thing.
First. And as ISKCON means we are creating Brahmanas, Prabhupada would say. Na? So Brahmanas. But still, if somebody has like Kshatriya spirit, Kshatriya, if he thinks himself as Kshatriya, then he has second option. But first, Brahmana cannot give up his body because it says, Vaishnava Chakur Thakur said that will Brahma Hatya. So he's giving, Vaishya and Shudra should give up the body. That's what he says here. So we are going to see one small video. So this 18th verse we'll read in that connection. You all like video? Hari bol. I know that. A video time, movie time. So it's connected to 18th verse. So we'll read the 18th verse. Hey, come, Rupa. 18th verse. Are so eager. First 18th verse we have to read. He's more eager. You are more comfortable with this or English? This only? Okay. अतस्तवत् पोन्न इदं कलेवरं न धारयिष्ये स्थितिशान्तगर्हिणः जगतस्य मोहादिविशुद्धिमन्दसो जुगुप्सितोद्धारणं प्रचक्षते. Yes. Translation.
Therefore, I shall no longer bear this unworthy body which has been received from you who have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If someone has taken food which is poisonous, the best treatment is to vomit.
So now she is rejecting her father, Daksha as father. So Vishnu Chakravarti says that having all powers and ability, I can destroy you. The Sati had the all power and ability to destroy Daksha by her glance. But she doesn't do, she says, however, people will say that Shiva, Lord Shiva killed Daksha through his wife. So in fearing of destroying Lord Shiva's fame, I will not kill you. So that's what Sati had the power. But she doesn't kill Daksha because then people will say Lord Shiva killed and Daksha through his wife. But then Shiva killed Daksha through Veerbhadra. It happened anyways. But she thinks like that. So here the verse as we know, Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tasyat, patim na sasyat, namo chayet samupeta mrutyum. So in this verse, there are different people who rejected this different relation is given. So if one is not able to deliver, then one should reject father. First, who rejected father here? Sati rejected. And then Prahlad also is there. So Sati also rejected her father because his father is not able to deliver himself. What he will deliver her? So Sati and then Prahlad. Then Guru, who rejected Guru? Bali Maharaj, rejected Sukracharya. Guru and Sachat. Swajano, Swajan, who rejected Swajan? Vibhishan rejected Ravana. Huh? Vibhishan rejected Ravana. Swajan, brothers. And Swajan says, then Janani, huh? Bharat Maharaj rejected Kaikai. Then Pati, who rejected Pati? 10th canto. Brahman Patnis. Huh? Yajna Patnis. They rejected the husband. And Daivam rejected demigods. Again, 10th canto. That means what I thought is Krishna rejected Indra's worship. We can say like he worship. Brajavasis. Acha, Brajavasis rejected Indra's worship and they worship Govardhan. Okay, that. Okay, na? Guru, Pita, Janani, that. So, any, so if parents are not able to deliver, so they should not be parents. It said that they are not able to deliver their subordinate. So that samskar is necessary, should be given from childhood by the parents. So we'll see one video related to this, and then you have to tell with the connection. You can play the video. minutes, 5-10 minutes. Then we'll take break. स्टार्ट करो. पॉज भी करो. हाँ अच्छा हाँ ओके स्टार्ट. So how culture has to be given from childhood.
वापस आया हूं आज आपसे बात करने के लिए. मैं विवेक बिंद्रा, मोटिवेशन स्पीकर, लीडरशिप कंसल्टेंट और बिजनेस कोच. आज बात करूंगा छत्रपति शिवाजी के विषय में. मराठाओं के दिल में बड़ी गहरी जगह बनाई. 1630 में जन्म लिया. 19 फरवरी पिता शाहजी भोसले, मां जीजाबाई. पिता शाहजी भोसले तो उस समय मुगलों की सेवा में लगे हुए थे, तो ज्यादा उस समय अवेलेबल नहीं रहा करते थे. तो मां जीजाबाई जिन्होंने ज्यादा समय बिताया छत्रपति शिवाजी के साथ में. शिवाजी छोटा सा बच्चा, उसको बचपन से ही महाभारत से लेकर रामायण तक, रामायण से लेकर भगवत गीता तक और सारी पौराणिक कथाएं उनको सुनाया करती थी. असर क्या हुआ, छोटी उम्र से ही एक स्वाभाविक नेचुरल लीडरशिप शिवाजी के अंदर दिखने लगी. छोटा सा बच्चा, लेकिन वहीं पे मावल नाम की एक जगह, एक स्थान जहां पे कई गांव हुआ करते थे, जो पुणे के नजदीक था. आज का जो पुणे है ना महाराष्ट्र में, उधर ही मावल के पिछड़े और गरीब लोग, लेकिन वो उनमें साहस बहुत था. तभी शिवाजी ने देखा, 12-15 साल की उम्र में उसने देखा, वहां पे 3 साल उन जंगलों में वहां घूमता रहा, लोगों के बीच में रहा, तो उसने देखा ये लोगों में ताकत बहुत है, शक्ति बहुत है, पर ये अनगाइडेड मिसाइल है. एक दिन उसने सारे दोस्तों को और वहां पे गांव के कई लोगों को इकट्ठा किया और उनको क्या बताया कि मराठाओं को मुगलों के नौकर के रूप में जाना जाता है. और ये जो नौकर होता है ना, ये जो गुलामी है, ये एक मानसिकता है और कुछ नहीं है. इट इज अ स्टेट ऑफ माइंड. इस गुलामी को तोड़ना है, मराठाओं को उससे बाहर निकलना है. तो ये निजामी शाह, आदिल शाह, इनके चंगुल से मराठाओं को पहली बार बाहर निकालने के लिए ये गांव वालों को उन्होंने तैयार किया. खंजर निकाला और अपना रक्त निकाल के काट के भगवान के शिवलिंग का रक्त अभिषेक कर दिया. और तभी इन्होंने ऐलान किया कि मैं स्वराज यात्रा निकालना चाहता हूं. ये स्वराज यात्रा, ये क्या कहते हैं, गुलामी एक मानसिकता है. क्या है, एक मानसिकता है. आप गुलाम अपनी मानसिकता के कारण है. और वहां पे गुलामी की मानसिकता से मराठाओं को निकाल के खड़ा करने के लिए, अब टीम तो छोटी थी, मैन पावर थी नहीं, रिसोर्सेज थे नहीं, उतने फंड्स थे नहीं, उतनी पीछे से सपोर्ट और ताकत और कोई अलायंस अभी तक था नहीं. तो शुरुआत बहुत इंटेलिजेंट थी. देखिए ये जो थे ना, ये व्यक्ति छत्रपति शिवाजी, सारे सुनिए, भारत को पता होना चाहिए, छत्रपति शिवाजी एक कंबाइंड अवतार मान सकते हो आप. महाराणा प्रताप के शौर्य और उनकी ताकत और उनके साहस का, और कौटिल्य चाणक्य पंडित की उनकी बौद्धिक शक्ति, उनकी बुद्धि और उनकी कुटिल नीतियों का, ये कंबाइंड अवतार थे. तो ये क्या करते हैं, छापा मार युद्ध करते हैं, द्विकंटक नीति के साथ जाते हैं. इसको क्या बोलते हैं, गोरिल्ला वॉरफेयर. और गोरिल्ला वॉरफेयर इसे कहते हैं गनीमी कावा. छोटी उम्र के अंदर इतना इंटेलिजेंस, इतना इंटेलिजेंस. गनीमी का मतलब क्या है, दुश्मन, और कावा मतलब उसको बेवकूफ बना के हराने की टैक्टिक्स. ये ऐसे टैक्टिक्स से लड़ते थे, इनको पहाड़ी चूहा बोलते थे, कि पहाड़ों के अंदर से कहां से निकल के किधर से निकल के आके दुश्मन पे अटैक करेंगे. छोटी सी सेना इन्होंने शुरू करी थी और अपना साम्राज्य दक्षिण से लेकर के ऊपर तक, गुजरात तक, इधर राज बहुत जगह फैलाया. एक बार उधर ही के मुगल राजा आदिल शाह ने मराठाओं के बीच में से इनके पिता को उठा करके जेल में डाल दिया, कारावास दे दिया. और ये बहुत दिन तक सोचने लगे कि क्या करें. और तभी देखिए, उसी समय में शाहजहां भी था दिल्ली के अंदर, और शाहजहां भी हालांकि है वो भी मुसलमान और आदिल शाह भी मुसलमान, लेकिन पॉलिटिक्स तो पॉलिटिक्स है ना. तो मुगल राजाओं को उन्होंने आपस में कैसे भरवाया, उधर उनको सपोर्ट और अलायंस की बात करी. इतने मास्टर अलायंस के मामले में, कब कहां किससे अलायंस बिल्ड करना. शाहजहां को बोले कि आप इस पे इन्फ्लुएंस डालो, ये मेरे पिता को छोड़े, और शाहजहां उनकी बात मान गए. शाहजहां को उन्होंने बोला कि तुम्हारे कई युद्ध होने वाले हैं नॉर्थ में, और उस समय पीछे से अगर तुम्हें यहां से मदद की जरूरत पड़े तो मैं छत्रपति शिवाजी तुम्हारी मदद करूंगा. इसको बोलो आदिल शाह को मेरे पिता को छोड़े. छुड़वा दिया. छत्रपति शिवाजी, इनके लिए युद्ध जीतना जरूरी था, लड़ना भले ही जरूरी ना हो. कई बार तो ये लड़े बिना भी युद्ध जीत जाते थे. यही तो इनकी चतुराई थी. इसे क्या कहते हैं, सामने वाला सरेंडर कर देगा स्वॉर्ड निकाले पहले, स्वॉर्ड निकालने से पहले, सरेंडर बिफोर द स्वॉर्ड कम्स आउट. इनकी बुद्धिमत्ता क्या थी कि ये एनिमी से अलायंस क्रिएट कर लेते थे. जो इन्हें बर्बाद करने आता था वही इनको आबाद करके जाता था। पोर्टफोलियो डाइवर्सिफिकेशन में बड़े मास्टर थे। ये नहीं कि एक ही जगह लगे रहे, साथ साथ पैरेलल लीडरशिप बिल्ड करते थे। उधर कोंकण कोस्टलाइन के पास में जो आज का गुजरात है, महाराष्ट्र है, आज का गोवा है, आज का नीचे तक कर्नाटक है, ये पूरी कोस्ट लाइन पे इन्होंने एक नेवी बिल्ड करी, नेवी की सेना, समुद्री सेना को तैयार किया। एक्चुअली छत्रपति शिवाजी को फादर ऑफ इंडियन नेवी भी बोला जाता है। और एक और बात आप सीखते हैं, प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सिनेरियो एनालिसिस। सिनेरियो एनालिसिस का मतलब क्या है? आने वाले समय में सिनेरियो ए होगा तो मैं ऐसे लड़ूंगा, बी होगा तो ऐसे लड़ूंगा, सी होगा तो ऐसे लड़ूंगा। सिनेरियो की तैयारी पहले रखनी चाहिए। उस समय वहां का तानाशाह आदिल शाह, जो उस समय तक शिवाजी जी से बहुत तंग आ चुका था, बहुत परेशान हो चुका था, इन्होंने अपने सबसे बड़े सेनापति, सबसे चीफ जनरल अफजल खान को भेजा कि अफजल खान इसको खत्म करके आओ किसी तरीके से। अफजल खान जानता था शिवाजी एक ईमानदार आदमी है, तो उसको एक प्रपोजल भेज दिया, शिवाजी मैं तुमसे अकेले मिलने आऊंगा, संधि करना चाहता हूं, अकेले मिलोगे मुझसे? शिवाजी बोले ठीक है, अकेले मिल लेते, मुझे कोई समस्या नहीं। अफजल खान ने बोला नियम यह है, ना तुम्हारे पास कोई सेना, ना मेरे पास कोई सेना, मैं भी अकेला, तुम भी अकेले, ना तुम्हारे पास कोई अस्त्र शस्त्र, ना मेरे पास कोई अस्त्र शस्त्र। अफजल खान जानता था छत्रपति शिवाजी एक बड़े ईमानदार व्यक्ति हैं, हाँ बोल देंगे तो ऐसे ही बिना शस्त्र के खड़े भी हो जाएंगे। उनसे 2.5 गुना लंबा चौड़ा अफजल खान आकर के गले मिलने लगा शिवाजी से। अब छोटे से शिवाजी और पीछे से खंजर निकाल करके पीठ में घुसा दिया। प्रिपेयर्ड थे पहले ही, शिवाजी पहले ही प्रिपेयर्ड थे। एक ऐसी लोहे की उन्होंने बुलेट जैकेट पहनी होती, पावरफुल, उन्होंने ऐसी जैकेट स्टील के अंदर बना रखी थी जिससे कितने भी खंजर डालो अंदर घुसे नहीं, लेकिन दिखाई नहीं पड़ता था। वो जानते थे कि ऐसा हो सकता है, ईमानदारी पूरी रखते लेकिन प्रिपरेशन भी रखते। इसको बोलते हैं सिनेरियो अगर सी निकल आया तो उसकी प्रिपरेशन भी रहे। हाथ पीछे से खींचा और उनका सिंह नख बाहर निकल आया, और वो जो सिंह नख नाम का उनका जो चाकू होता है ना, वो चाकू शेर के पंजे जैसा इतना सॉलिड कि उसको घुसाया पेट में, अफजल खान का किडनी वहां से बाहर निकाल दी, फाड़ दी। और यहां रुके नहीं, इसको मारते ही अब इसकी सेना का पूरा मनोबल तोड़ दिया, उनकी मानसिक दिशा को कमजोर करके उनका प्रतापगढ़ किला जीत गए। सबसे बड़ी लर्निंग एक और है, पहले तो प्रिपरेशन रखो पूरी वर्ड्स के लिए, और उसके बाद अगर जीत गए या हार गए उसको अपने ऊपर हावी मत होने दो, अगले के लिए चालू कर दो। अभी इतनी बड़ी जीत मिली कि ये नहीं कि मतलब अब जाके बैठ के आराम करें जी, बहुत बड़ा किला जीत गए, बहुत बड़ा किला जीत गए। 18 दिन के अंदर अगला किला पनहल का, फोर्ट ऑफ पनहल, उसको भी कैप्चर कर लिया। अच्छा, एक हारने का उदाहरण भी देखिए, मिर्जा राजा जयसिंह उस समय हुआ करते थे। अब इन्होंने मुगल लोगों ने राजा जयसिंह को मिर्जा बना लिया था, अपने साथ जोड़ करके अपनी सेना में ले लिया। एक दफा मिर्जा राजा जयसिंह ने इनको एक युद्ध में हराया और इनसे पुरंदर की ट्रीटी साइन करा ली। पुरंदर की ट्रीटी साइन कराते वक्त इनके 23 किले इनसे छीन लिए गए, और 23 किले अब इनके हाथ से निकल गए। वो उनके लिए हार थी, हाँ हार थी, लेकिन हारने के बाद भी नहीं रुकते। ये क्या किया, कम ऑन बाउंस बैक, कम ऑन, क्या याद है ना आपको, बाउंस बैक। और कैसे बाउंस बैक किया? पुरंदर की संधि में 23 किले हाथ से निकल गए, हाँ निकल गए, लेकिन रुकना तो है नहीं। अगले कुछ सालों के अंदर 23 किले हारे पर 360 किले और जीत गए। 360 किले इन्होंने, जो फोर्ट होते हैं ना, कई मैंशन, एक के बाद एक के बाद। इनकी लड़ाई किसी भी प्रकार से किसी धर्म के अगेंस्ट नहीं थी, इनकी लड़ाई थी मराठाओं की रक्षा करने के लिए। ये मराठाओं के लिए खड़े, ये मुसलमानों के अगेंस्ट नहीं, मुगलों के अगेंस्ट थे। वो मुगल जो विदेश से आए उनके अगेंस्ट थे, क्योंकि मुसलमान तो उनकी टीम में बहुत सारे थे। इनके कई सारे बड़े बड़े आर्मी के जनरल ही मुसलमान हुआ करते थे, इनके कई दोस्त भी मुसलमान थे, इनके जो एक अपनी टीम के वजीर आजम वो भी मुसलमान थे, इनके कई गुरु भी मुसलमान थे। लेकिन ये मुगलों के खिलाफ थे, जो आके मराठाओं को तंग करके उनको नौकर बनाया था। बाहर से आके मुगलों ने मराठाओं को जो तंग किया, उनकी पीड़ा को वहीं से इन्होंने टीम को नीचे नीचे से इकट्ठा करके छापा मार युद्ध से आज इतनी बड़ी सेना खड़ा कर ली। अच्छा, एक बात और जो इस वीर मराठा को मुगलों से अलग करती थी, वो खास बात थी इनका स्त्रियों के प्रति विशेष सम्मान। क्या बोलते थे, मां, औरतें और बच्चे, इनको कोई तंग नहीं करेगा चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए। और ये जो इनकी लीडरशिप विजडम थी ना, ये बचपन में महाभारत, भगवत गीता, रामायण पढ़ने से जो उनके अंदर आई, ये इन्होंने अपने सैनिकों में भी कूट कूट के डाल दी थी कि अगर किसी, देखिए जहां उसी समय मुगल लोग औरतों को उठा लिया करते थे, उनका अपहरण करते थे, उनका रेप कर लेते थे, उनको उनके मंदिर तोड़ना, उनको मारना पीटना, वहीं ये क्या बोले, किसी दूसरे धर्म का अपमान नहीं करेंगे, किसी दूसरे की स्त्री को गलत नजर से कभी देखेंगे नहीं। और अगर अगर मेरा कोई सैनिक देखते हुए मिल गया तो उसको खत्म कर दूंगा। इन्होंने वो वैल्यूज अपनी टीम के अंदर डाल दी। इनकी ये क्वालिटी ने इनको इतनी रिस्पेक्ट अर्न करी, इतनी रिस्पेक्ट अर्न करी कि लोग अपनी जान देने लग गए। इस वीर मराठा की कथा मैं चाहता हूं पूरे देश तक पहुंचे। आज अगर आप में थोड़ा सा भी आप में इच्छा है कि हमारे देश के इस इतिहास को कोई भूल ना जाए, इसको व्हाट्सएप पे फैला दीजिए। हर मराठा की जिम्मेदारी है कि इसको देश तक पहुंचाएं और लोगों को पता चले।
हमारे पास व्हाट्सएप है ही नहीं। So what is the connection with our verse? So Shivaji, so he was from childhood, his mother, Jizabai, she would tell him about Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So that is actually mother, real mother. So one should reject the mother, father, like your Sati rejected father, if they cannot deliver the subordinates. So that we see from this. So we'll take a break, 5 minutes, and then we'll again assemble after 5 minutes. Repo. 18th we have finished. 19th. Huh? 18th we have finished. No? 19th we have to start. Yeah. न वेदवादानुवर्तते मति स्व एव लोके रमतो महामुने यथा गतिर्देव मनुष्यो पृथक् स्व एव धर्मेण परं क्षिपेत् स्थितः. Where's the mic?
It is better to execute one's own occupational duty than to criticize others. Elevated transcendentalists may sometimes forego the rules and regulations of the Vedas since they do not need to follow them, just as the demigods travel in space, whereas the ordinary men travel on the surface of the earth.
So here Sati is saying that Lord Shiva is Avdhut. He need not follow all the rules and regulations. Just like demigods who travel in space, they need not follow the rules and regulations on surface of the earth. So Lord Shiva is Avdhut, transcendental. He need not follow all the principles. So we see in our sampradaya also, there are many Babajis who are Avdhut, like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, Vamshidas Babaji. So all their behavior and activities are like beyond the rules and regulations. But it doesn't mean that they are breaking the rules. So I was just reading about Vamshidas Babaji. So he's it's quite if you read that book by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj about Vamshidas Babaji, so you will get thoroughly confused. He says that amongst all Babajis, Vamshidas Babaji was Avdut. Generally, Babajis are Avdut, but amongst Avdut, he was Avdut, really Avdut, Vamshidas Babaji. So some of the incidents are so like confusing. So I just reading one place. He says that once one this seller, fish seller, she is going and she is selling the fish on the street. So that time she comes to Babaji Maharaj's kutir also. Do you want fish? Fresh fish. That is described there. Because like Vamshidas Babaji, previously he is from family of fishermen. So like that he gets some more desire or something to like fish. It's nice. Like that. And then suddenly he condemns himself. How can I get like the desire? He chastises her and she goes away. But he thinks, why I got that desire of taking the fish? And he becomes very angry. And in the house, who else is there? He and Gauranitai. He becomes angry on Gauranitai. How come this desire came in me? Eat fish. This you are only responsible, both of you. I will punish you. So what he does is he takes the deities of them, ties a rope to their feet, lotus feet, and throws them in river, Ganga. This is not to be imitated. And then one of the disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur sees, "Arey, what is doing throwing coins in the river?" And of course, other end is in his hand. He goes, "Baba ji, kya kar rahe ho?" He takes a stone and throws at him. Tum jao idhar se. Like that. So then of course he brings them back, but it's quite like confusing, and quite bewildering. So these are the behaviors of Avdut. So he was like Avdut amongst Avdut. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur would say to his disciples, "You never go near to him." Amshudas Baba. Not because he is not very great devotee, he is great devotee, but you are not great. You will not understand all his activities. So he would not send his disciples nearby. He personally would go to meet him, but he would tell his disciples to have. So like that, there are many Avdut, like and pastimes are there, many of Amshudas Baba. So here Sati is saying that Lord Shiva is Avdut. He did not follow all the rules and regulations like you are saying he should get up and offer obeisances and like that. So he is beyond that. He is saying, verse number 20. कर्म प्रवृत्तं च निवृत्तम् अपीरितं वेदे विविच्यो भयलिङ्गमाश्रितं विरोधि तद्योगपदैककर्तरि द्वयं तथा ब्रह्मणि कर्म नश्यति.
In the Vedas, there are directions for two kinds of activities: activities for those who are attached to material enjoyment, and activities for those who are materially detached. In consideration of these two kinds of activities, there are two kinds of people who have different symptoms. If one wants to see two kinds of activities in one person, that is contradictory. But both kinds of activities may be neglected by a person who is transcendently situated.
She is saying that Lord Shiva is beyond this both, like pravrutti marg, nivrutti marg. Either people follow pravrutti marg or either nivrutti marg. But Lord Shiva is beyond both, and you criticize him like that. She is actually speaking to Daksha. This all this. Next 21st. मावः पदव्यपितरस्मदास्तिता या यज्ञशालासु न धूमवर्त्मभिः तदन्न तृप्तैरसुभृद्भिरीडिता अव्यक्तलिङ्गा अवधूतसेविता. हरि बोल.
My dear father, the opulence we possess is impossible for either you or your flatterers to imagine. For persons who engage in fruitive activities by performing great sacrifices are concerned with satisfying their bodily necessities by eating foodstuffs offered as a sacrifice. We can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personalities who are renounced, self-reliant souls.
So she is saying to Daksha that our opulence is better than yours. So now what opulence they have? Sati and Shiva, they don't have any opulence. But the opulence is of living a simple life, life of tapasya. That opulence which we have, that you don't have. You live in luxury, but you are not happy. So if we see, the life of tapasya is more pleasurable than life of luxury. We can see. So Daksha is living a life of opulence, but he is not happy. But Sati and Lord Shiva, they live under a tree and a life of tapasya, simple life. They are very happy. So, as Loknath Maharaj says, this Sukh ani Suvidha. Sukh ani Suvidha. So, generally, if we want Sukh, we stay at home, nicely, place in temple or like Sukh. But, Sukh ani Suvidha. Suvidha. When we are at our home, then we get Suvidha, facilities. But there is no Sukh. But we go out, like we go out and like preaching, there will be tapasya, bus party. Tapasya is there, but there is sukh in that. There is no suvidha, but there is sukh. And in a temple or in a house, there is suvidha, but there is no sukh. So either of that you can have, either sukh or suvidha. Sukh and suvidha, dhoni, both you cannot have. So for Lord Shiva and Sati, they had sukh, no suvidha. But Daksha had all suvidha, but no sukh. So that's why she is saying our opulence is of tapasya, is a simple life is better than yours. Like that she is saying. Next verse 22. नैतेन देहेन हरे कृतागसो देहोद्भवेनालमलं कुञ्जमाना व्रीडाममा भूत्पुजना प्रसङ्गतस्तज्जन्मधिज्ञो महताम् अविद्यकृत्.
You are an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva, and unfortunately, I have a body produced from yours. I am very much ashamed of our bodily relationship, and I condemn myself because my body is contaminated by a relationship with a person who is an offender at the lotus feet of the greatest personality.
Next 23. गोत्रं त्वदीयं भगवान् वृषध्वजो दाक्षायिति आह यदा सुहृत्मना व्यपेतनर्मस्मितमाशु तदाहं वितृक्षये तत्कुनपं त्वदङ्गजम्.
Because of our family relationship, when Lord Shiva addressed me as Dakshayani, I at once become morose, and my jolliness and my smile at once disappear. I feel very much sorry that my body, which is just like a bag, has been produced by you. I shall therefore give it up.
Next 24. Now she is readying herself, making herself ready to give up life. मैत्रेय उवाच इति अध्वरे दक्षमनुद्य शत्रुहन् क्षितावुदीचिं निषदाशान्तवाक् स्पृष्ट्वा जलं पीतदुकूलसंवृता निमील्य दृग्योगपथं समाविशत्.
Maitreya the sage told Vidura, O annihilator of enemies, while thus speaking to her father in the arena of sacrifice, Sati sat down on the ground and faced north. Dressed in saffron garments, she sanctified herself with water and closed her eyes to absorb herself in the process of mystic yoga.
So she prepared herself. She wore saffron clothes. So Vishwanath Thakur is saying, those who desire to die should dress in clothes dyed with saffron. so, so saffron means death, social death. Her death has happened already. So that is for the cloth is for death. One who has died. Social death is the saffron cloth. So that's why die before you die. dye your clothes in saffron before you die, like that. Or there another meaning, die before you die. So like that she wore a saffron cloth and then she prepared herself for leaving the body. Next 25th. कृत्वा समानौ अनिलौ जितासना शोधनम् उत्थाप्य च नाभिचक्रतः शनैर्दिष्टाप्य धियोषि स्थितं कंठाद् भ्रुवोर्मध्यमनिन्दिनायत्.
First of all, she sat in the required sitting posture, and then she carried the live air upward and placed it in the position of equilibrium near the navel. Then she raised her live air mixed with intelligence to the heart and then gradually toward the pulmonary passage, and from there to between her eyebrow.
So how she is living the body that is described. 26th. एवं स्वदेहं महतां महीयसा मुहुः समरोपितम् अङ्कमादरात् यहा सती दक्षरुषामनिस्विनी दधार गात्रेषु अनिलाग्निधारणम्.
Thus, in order to give up her body, which had been so respectfully and affectionately seated on the lap of Lord Shiva, who is worshipped by great sages and saints, Sati, due to anger towards her father, began to meditate on the fiery air within the body.
Next. तत् स्वभर्तु शरणम्बुजासवं
चरणाम्बुजासवं
जगद्गुरोश्चिन्तयति
जगद्गुरोश्चिन्तयति
न
न
चापरं
चापरं
ददर्श
ददर्श
देहो
देहो
हतकल्मषा
हतकल्मषा
सती
सति
सद्यः
सद्यः
प्रज्ज्वालसमाधिजागिना.
प्रज्ज्वालसमाधिजागिना. Sati concentrated all her meditation on the body, on the holy lotus feet of her husband, Lord Shiva, who is the supreme spiritual master of all the world. Thus she became completely cleansed of all taints of sin and quit her body in a blazing fire by meditation on the fiery elements.
So she meditated on Lord Shiva's lotus feet and then she left the body. So I was just thinking, uh, actually, Sati came there, although she was angry on Lord Shiva, and like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that if Lord Shiva wouldn't have allowed her, she would have committed suicide there on Kailash. But Lord Shiva allowed, so she came here, and being angry on Daksha, thinking of Lord Shiva, she gave body there. So now I was just thinking, if she would be here in place of Lord Shiva and she would have given up body, about whom she might be thinking. So I am just guessing. So one story he tells, when the past name of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, once like Amrendra Prabhu had come here, he had told, you might be remembering. Once in Mayapur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's one disciple, he was staying, brahmachari, and he was from Calcutta. His house was in Calcutta. So he once asked Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati that I would like to go to home. So Bhakti Siddhanta said, no, don't go. Then he thought after some time he will agree. Then after a few days, few weeks, he again went and asked Bhakti Siddhanta, can I go home? Once I can go home and I will come back. Calcutta, nearby from Mayapur. Bhakti Siddhanta said, no. So like that, many times he kept on asking, but every time he will get the same answer, no, don't go, no. And then all other brahmacharis also, they were knowing he wanted to go, but Bhakti Siddhanta is not allowing. So then what happened? Suddenly he was detected with some terminal disease, that brahmachari. And then doctors told that he will not have much time. So he was like completely laying on the bed, and he was very serious. And then after other brahmacharis were taking his care like that. And then the doctors told, now today is his last day. He will die today. So then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati came to this brahmachari and said, today you go home. You go to Calcutta. He said, no, Guru Maharaj, today is my last day. I am going to die. Let me die here in Mayapur Dham. So he said, no, you should go. Go home. Everybody now, if we are in that situation, how to so then he told two brahmacharis, इसको लेके जाओ घर पे, उठाओ इसको. He said, no, Guru Maharaj, I want to leave body here. इतने दिन मैंने पूछा जाना है घर पे जाना, तभी अलाउ नहीं किया. लास्ट दिन आई एम लिविंग, प्लीज अलाउ मी टू लीव बॉडी हियर इन मायापुर धाम. भक्ति सिद्धांत says, no, no, no. So you go home. So दोनों brahmachari, they also don't know why he is saying like that. They lift him, उसको लेके जाते हैं ट्रेन में, and they sit in the train from Mayapur, from Krishnanagar to Kolkata. So when they are in the halfway, they are carrying this brahmachari. He dies in between only, in the train only. And these other two brahmacharis, who are his disciples only, so they are crying. They don't know why our Guru Maharaj did like that. एक तो उधर भी नहीं मरने दिया, एक तो घर भी नहीं जाने दिया, ये बीच में ही मर गया ट्रेन में, ऐसा क्यों किया? They are thoroughly confused. So they brought the body back to Mayapur, to Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, and they said he died in the middle only. So we know that you are great pure devotee Nitya Siddha, but why you did like that? So then he gave explanation, Bhakti Siddhanta. So he said, see, he used to always ask me that I want to go home, I want to go home. But I never allowed him, because I knew if he goes home, he will never come back. He will stay there only. So I never allowed. And now today was his last day. If I would have allowed him to leave his body in Mayapur, he would have died thinking of his home, parents. So I told him go home. Now he was going home, halfway to his home. When he left his body, he was thinking of Mayapur Dham. So he has gone back home, back to body. So don't worry. So great. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. We cannot understand activities of Vaishnava Kriya Mudra, Vijnana Mudra. How you must have heard, na? How many of you knew this? First time, Amrendra Prabhu, when he had come, he had told this. I remember I tell everywhere. Very nice pastime. So I was thinking like on similar terms, if Sati would have left body in Kailash, you know, then she would have thought of Daksha. Lord Shiva said, "Okay, you go." He allowed her to go. So there she left body thinking of Lord Shiva. And then later she again, joins back as Parvati. So anyway, that is the activities of great souls, how they deal. 28th verse, right? तत्पश्यतां खे भुवि चाद्भुतं महद् हा हेति वादा समूहान् अजायत हन्तः प्रिया दैवतं स देवी जहाव असुन्केन सती प्रकोपिता.
When Sati annihilated her body in anger, there was a tumultuous roar all over the universe. Why had Sati, the wife of the most respectable demigod Lord Shiva, quit her body in such a manner?
Next. अहो अनात्म्यं महदस्य पश्यता प्रजापतेर्यस्य चराचरं प्रजा जहाव आसुन् यद्विमात्मजा सती मनस्विनी मानमभीक्षणम् अर्हति.
It was astonishing that Daksha, who was Prajapati, the maintainer of all living entities, was so disrespectful to his own daughter Sati, who was not only chaste but was also a great soul, that she gave up her body because of his neglect.
30. Next. सोऽयं दुर्मर्षहृदयो ब्रह्मधृक् लोके प्रकृतिं महतिम् अवाप्स्यति यदङ्गजां स्वां पुरुषद्विदयतां न प्रत्यषेदान् मृत्ते पराधतः.
Daksha, who is so hard-hearted that he is unworthy to be a Brahmana, will gain extensive ill fame because of his offenses to his daughter, because of not having prevented her death, and because of great envy to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that Daksha, because he is a progenitor, he is producer of all beings, he should have affection for everybody. But he didn't have affection for his daughter only. So Daksha as a progenitor, he should have affection for everybody. But as his own daughter, he didn't have affection. So that is the fault. He is hard-hearted, he is called here. Next, 31. वदति एवं जने सत्य दृष्ट्वा सुत्यागम् अद्भुतम् दक्षं तत्पार्षदा हन्तुम् उदस्तिसन् उदायुधा.
While people were talking among themselves about the wonderful voluntary death of Sati, the attendants who had come with her readied themselves to kill Daksha with their weapons.
So they had come all along. They wanted to kill. Tesham apatatam vegam nishamya bhagavan भृगु यज्ञघ्नघ्नेन यजुषा दक्षिणाग्नौ युजावज.
They came forward forcibly, but Brugumani saw the danger, and offering oblations into the southern side of the sacrificial fire, immediately uttered mantric hymns from the Yajurveda, by which the destroyers of yogic performances could be killed immediately.
अध्वर्युना ह्यूयमाने देवा उत्पतेरोजसा ऋभवो नाम तपसा सोमं प्राप्ता सहस्रसा.
When Bhrigumani offered oblations in the fire, immediately many thousands of demigods named Drubhus became manifested. All of them were powerful, having achieved strength from Soma, the moon.
Last verse. तैरालातयुधि सर्वे प्रमता सह गुह्यका हन्यमाना दिशो भेजुर्उषद्भिर्ब्रह्म तेजसा.
When the Rubu demigods attacked the ghosts and Guyakas with half-burned fuel from the Yajna fire, all these attendants of Sati fled in different directions and disappeared. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas, Brahmanical power.
Yeah. So now Daksha, Sati burned herself and all the assistants, they were chased away. Yeah. Now when Lord Shiva gets the news, what will happen? We'll see tomorrow. So he gets very angry, Lord Shiva. Then what he does, we'll see tomorrow. So it's 1 o'clock, we'll end. If anybody has any one question online or here, right? Otherwise we'll end today. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरि बोल.